If you've been following me for some time, the posts have been all about nutrition, what to eat, what diet to have. And why is that important? Why is nutrition so important? I want to tell you that your first line of defense to any reproductive health issue, to any chronic disease, to any issues that you may have is your diet. Why is that your first line of defense? Your first line of defense is your diet because you can control your diet. You have control of your diet, right? You go to the supermarket and you buy the food, right? You decide what goes inside of your mouth, right? So that is why your first line of defense is always going to be your diet. No matter what issues you are having, you first have to look at your diet and what is coming in to your body. What are you ingesting? What are you taking in? That is so serious because a lot of the foods that we are ingesting now and taking in are not the same foods that our ancestors ate. They're not the same things that our ancestors ate, and that's why we're having the problems that we have now. So your first line of defense is always what you are eating. So many people ask me, what is a plant-based whole food vegan diet? What is that? Because I'm constantly telling people that I recommend a plant-based whole food vegan diet. Tonight, I'm going to break down what is a plant-based whole food vegan diet. Your diet should consist of grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. I know that sounds very boring, and I know that sounds like the impossible, but it can be done. This is your first line of defense to any reproductive health issues that you're having, to any chronic disease that you're having, is your diet. And when I say a whole food, vegan, plant-based diet, I'm not talking about the now processed junk food that is going around claiming to be plant-based and vegan. I'm talking about a whole food diet where you actually have one ingredient in the food, not processed, not boxed, not in a plastic bag, a food that you have to cook, that you have to make. And that is the difference. The processed vegan food is just as bad as normal junk food that you're picking up from the store and eating every day. There is no difference between plant-based processed food and vegan processed plant-based food and regular processed food, because the same manufacturers that make the regular processed foods are the same people making the vegan processed foods. Those Beyond Burgers, those Impossible Burgers, those Just Eggs, the vegan fake cheese, all of those things are products. That's not whole food. There's a difference. That is a product. That is not a whole food. That is plant-based junk food. That is plant-based processed food. Those are not whole foods. And that's not what I mean when I say that you have to adopt a vegan, plant-based whole food lifestyle. What I mean by vegan, plant-based whole food lifestyle is food that you actually have to cook. We have gotten away from cooking our own foods, ladies and gentlemen. We have gotten away from getting things quick and easy. We go to Wendy's, we go to Popeyes, we go to McDonald's. Everything is made right then and there. It's quick, it's easy because we're rushing, we're moving. We have so many things going on in our lives. We don't have time to cook anymore. Well, we're facing the results of that. We're facing reproductive health issues, and we're also facing chronic disease because of the processed food that we're eating. We're not cooking anymore. That's the beginning of the problems. When you are not cooking your own food, you don't know what you're ingesting. You're eating sodium-filled food. You're eating food with toxic chemicals. You're eating food that you have no control over what you're eating. You're eating food that is made in a lab. So yes, these foods have tons of chemicals. And even if it says it is plant-based, that doesn't make it any difference. It's plant-based processed junk food. That's what's happening right now. So it became big business. It became, okay, so now there's this big press for everyone to be vegan, to be vegan, to be vegan. So now let's make vegan processed foods. And that's what they've done, and people have become addicted. And it's not a whole food, vegan, plant-based diet. So diet is the first line of defense, and it's very important that you include, the legumes, the vegetables, the fruits, the fruits with seeds as well. You don't want to be eating fruits that don't have seeds. Now there's this big thing called grapes with no seeds, seedless grapes. That's not what we're doing now. We are going back to the roots. We're eating foods with seeds. We don't want seedless grapes because where's the nutrition found? The nutrition and the minerals are found in the seeds. So if it's seedless, that means it's genetically modified. That means it's not real. That means they genetically modified the seeds to remove the seeds, the grapes to remove the seeds. So that's not what we want either. And because of all the pesticides and herbicides, things like atrazine that is sprayed on every single thing that is not organic, you want to be very, very, very careful what you're eating, even if it's fruits, even if it's vegetables, because those things have to grow. And so what do they do to preserve the fruit? What do they do to remove the weeds? They put pesticides and herbicides, and one in particular, the number one pesticide in the world is called atrazine. Write that down, guys. Atrazine. Atrazine is a pesticide that is causing infertility, that is causing reproductive health issues, that is triggering fibroid growth, that is causing cancer. So many things are happening with this one pesticide that is used in the majority of all the food that we eat every day. So because of that, you have to try to eat organic, eat as clean and as organic as possible. And I know it is difficult. It is difficult because things are expensive. But you know what? You're worth it. You're worth it. Your health is worth it. You are worth it. You are only you, your body. Your body is what is holding your spirit. You can literally change your life by eating and reverse chronic disease, reverse your reproductive health by eating a whole food plant-based diet. This is in your arsenal. This is something you have control over because you buy your food. You ingest your food. So you have control over what you eat. Let's see what's going on in the comments here. I want to say hello to everyone who has joined. Thank you, the Fragrance for Creator, for writing atrazine. That's very important. I want you guys to look that up, and you can see the effects of what atrazine does, and you can see it for yourself. And it's something about when you look things up and you research on your own, it really implants what it can do and how serious it is and how important it is to really eat organic. Before I started this coaching business, I was just amazed at how many people have reproductive health issues. I was just amazed before I went on my health journey with infertility. I was amazed at how many women have now become infertile. You ever wonder how come so many women are doing IVF? How come so many women are having trouble conceiving? How come so many women are having miscarriages? Why is that happening when back in the day, our grandparents, our aunts, our mothers, they used to have 4, 5, 6 kids easy, pop them out nonstop? Why? It's because the foods that we are eating today are very different from the foods that our grandparents ate, that our ancestors ate. We're not taking in the same minerals and nutrients that they had. And so because of that, and the chemicals and the pesticides and the herbicides and the hormones and antibiotics that they are putting in the food, is acting in different ways in our body and is triggering these chronic diseases and reproductive health issues. Now we have genetically modified food. Back then, they didn't have genetically modified food. It was from farm to table. And you ate what was at the farm, and then it went to your supermarket and at your table. Now the food is being made in the lab. Did you guys know that Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland? Why is he doing that? He's patenting he's patenting seeds. He's patenting fertilizer. Why is he doing that? You ever wonder? You ever ask those questions? Why is Bill Gates, a billionaire, now suddenly interested in food? It's very ironic, isn't it? They are controlling the foods that we eat. If you control the foods that we eat, then you control how many people are getting sick every day. And then you control medications. That's big pharma. It's big business to control the food that we eat. And so we really want to be careful and mindful. Read those ingredients. Don't just pick up anything that you see at the supermarket nowadays, because now Bill Gates just got his lab-based meat, fake meat approved by the FDA. The FDA just approved Bill Gates lab meat. So now you're not even going to know if the meat you're eating is really meat, if it's chicken, if it's beef, because the FDA just approved Bill Gates lab grown meat. Let that sink in there. Let that sink in. And so it's really important that we start to adapt a whole food plant-based diet now. Start to adopt it now, because now we still have power. We still have control. You can still garden. You can still plant your own foods. Soon enough, we don't even know if we're going to have that capability. Bill Gates just patented seeds. Seeds, you know, the seeds that you put into the ground and that you put into the ground so the plants can grow. He's patenting seeds. He's patenting fertilizer. What do you need for the food and the produce to grow? You need fertilizer. He's patenting that too. He's buying up the farmland. He literally just bought 270,000 acres of farmland in the United States. You can Google that. I'm speaking facts. So food is not the same foods that our ancestors once ate. And because of that, we have to know what is going into our bodies. We have to know that we have the control of what we eat. And that's your first line of defense for any reproductive health issues, for any chronic disease. You can reverse your chronic disease through your food. Did you know that the number one disease in the world is cardiovascular disease, heart problems? Most people get heart problems through seed oils. Seed oils, that's what causes heart problems. It clogs your valves. And so when you go out to eat all the time, guess what oils they're using? They're using vegetable oils. They're using canola oils. They're not using avocado oil or olive oil. They're using these oils, and what it's doing is it's clogging your heart. And so this goes back to me telling you that it's so important that you cook your food, because you know what the ingredients are. You know what you're eating. It's so important. Let's look and see what people are talking about. Wow. Okay. Brunch and Hair says, can you talk more about the meals, legumes, nuts, but how can I plan my meals properly? What I find the easiest thing to do is to meal prep. And, don't go to the supermarket and buy ingredients, because then you're going to end up with a bunch of ingredients and no meals. I recommend that you go to the supermarket and you shop for meals. Okay, so on Monday, I'm making this meal. On Tuesday, I'm making that meal. On Thursday, I'm making this meal. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start cooking on live plant-based whole food. So you can start to see some of the meals that you can start to incorporate into your life. You can do white rice and black beans and plantains. That's very simple. That's something easy that a lot of people like, and that's a go-to, a staple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just incorporating grains, legumes, beans, incorporating those things inside of your diet. Diets that include processed vegan food, even processed foods, animal products, are causing diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. You can reverse these things through your diet. You can reverse and prevent these things through your diet. Someone asked, what about fiber? Quinoa. You have so many options of fiber. I love quinoa, farro. You have You have wild rice. Those are great options for fiber. And I actually did a post. If you go down my timeline, you can see what are some grains that you can start to incorporate inside of the vegan plant-based diet. And those are excellent grains. I just named 3 that you can now incorporate. Melanin, that's excellent as well. Those are grains that you can incorporate, and then you include your vegetables. You can saute carrots, you can saute spinach, you can saute broccoli. There's so many things that you can do. I like to also include cruciferous vegetables like bok choy, cauliflower, broccoli. All of those things really help in shrinking fibroids. Those things are very, very, very important. And guess what the red meat is doing, guys? The red meat now is filled with estrogen. It's filled with estrogen and hormones. And what that does is when you ingest it, it mimics the estrogen in your body. Think about it like this. Our body produces estrogen and progesterone. Those are the 2 sex main hormones in every woman. So your body already makes that naturally. That's what God did for us. It naturally makes that. So now through the foods that we're eating, non-organic meats, canned foods, lined with BPA and BPS, processed foods, now the chemicals in the foods are now acting and mimicking estrogen in the body. We metabolize estrogen differently. And these foods are acting now as estrogen in the body. So you have the estrogen that your body makes, and then you have the synthetic estrogen that is coming from the food. And what this is doing, it is creating a hormonal imbalance. And that hormonal imbalance is called estrogen dominance. And when that happens, you have that hormonal imbalance, you have the estrogen dominance, that triggers fibroid growth. That triggers fibroid growth. And it can take fibroids that were asymptomatic. It can take fibroids where they were once dormant and trigger them immediately. Now you have a 2 centimeter fibroid that's grown to an 8 centimeter fibroid in 6 months because of your diet. Because of your diet. And you found that out because you went and had an ultrasound. You find that out, and then now you're like, boom, oh my God, I didn't even know I have fibroids. I can't believe this is happening to me. But guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I want to tell you that your diagnosis is the best thing that can happen to you. You want to know why? Your diagnosis is the best thing that ever happened to you because your diagnosis woke you up. Before, you were eating everything you wanted. You were living life, living your best life, going to brunch every week, having your alcohol. You didn't know that alcohol, it triggers inflammation and triggers fibroid growth. You were living your best life and you were doing you. And then all of a sudden you went in for your pap smear because you started feeling pain in your pelvic area. And the doctor tells you, your gyno, listen, I'm feeling fibroids. You have fibroids now. That fibroid diagnosis woke you up. That fibroid diagnosis woke you up. You needed that wake-up call. You needed that wake-up call to make you more conscious. You needed that wake-up call to make you more aware. To make you more aware of what you are putting in your body and how serious it is. Your diagnosis is the best thing that happened to you. And you want to know how I know that? Because it was the best thing that happened to me. My diagnosis was the best thing to happen to me. I had fibroids, stage 4 endometriosis, and I have adenomyosis. And guess what? Before I knew I had these things, I was living my best life. My best life, when I tell you. I was doing me. And then once I found out that I had these health issues, something happened inside of my brain, in my head, and I was like, look, I got to get serious about my life. I got to get serious about what I'm putting in my body. I started doing research. I started finding holistic alternatives. I wanted more answers that the doctors were not providing. So I had to do different things to get different results. And I was able to heal myself. I was able to reverse my diagnosis. One of the things that I did was my diet. I changed my diet. That is your first line of defense, is your diet. So I want to tell you that you have the power. And I know it feels like, oh my God, what did I do to deserve this? This is a curse. I feel like I'm being punished. I can't believe I have these reproductive health issues. I'm infertile. I have fibroids. I have endometriosis. I have adenomyosis. I have cysts. I have this. I have that. I'm having miscarriages. I can't stay pregnant. I have pregnancy loss. No. I know it feels like the worst thing to happen to you. Everything I just listed, I've gone through and I've had. And it woke me up. Because before then, I was living my best life. With no consequences, with not a care in the world. Never conscious, never aware of anything I was doing to my body. Anything. I was the party girl. I was the girl who was drinking, and I was the girl who was going clubbing, and I was the girl who was really living her best life without a care in the world. And then I got the diagnosis and something happened inside of me and woke me up. So your diagnosis is going to be your testimony on how you got healed. You're going to help someone else. And that's what I'm doing here. This is what my calling is, what my purpose is. This is what God has instructed me to do, is to share my testimony and how I was able to reverse my disease and how I use holistic treatments to help myself and how I had 2 open myomectomies and then I developed a pelvic abscess and then I had sepsis shock and almost lost my life. My testimony has become the things that happened to me has become my living testimony. And that is why I'm sharing them with you today. I'm going to take a sip on that note. I want to tell you that when you are starting your healing journey, I don't want you guys to be looking for a quick fix. That's why it's called a healing journey. You are on a journey. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Think about how many years you've been eating that inflammatory food that's all over your body that puts you in the position you're in now. All those years you've been doing that, eating the way you want to, drinking the way you want to, smoking the way you want to. Now you got the wake up call because you got you got the diagnosis. But things don't happen instantly. The body does not work that way. It's going to take time to undo all the years of inflammatory food that you've been eating and putting in your body. You're not going to just take some herbs and in 2 weeks you're going to be healed and cured and boom, your fibroids are gone. Let's talk about that liver. Your liver has been working overtime to clean what you've been putting in your body. Your liver is your cleanser. Your liver is how you balance your hormones. Your liver is what cleans you out and cleanses your organs. It has to go back. You're putting it through so much work. And so it's taking back years of all the abuse that you put inside of your body. It's cleaning out. So don't just think that, oh my God, I'm going to take these herbs and boom, I'm going to be healed in 2 weeks. It doesn't work that way. It didn't take 2 weeks for you to get that disease. It didn't take 2 weeks for it to happen just like that. It took years. It took months. So put that same energy to doing the work to healing yourself. But do that same energy, put that same energy into working on you, tapping into oneself, to knowing what your power is, to putting the work into having the discipline. Enough to say enough is enough. And I'm going to make the changes in my life. I'm going to do what I have to. I'm going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to change my diet. I don't want to have these surgeries that the doctor's recommending. I don't want to have a hysterectomy. I don't want to have another open myomectomy surgery. Because guess what? You may have the surgery now to remove the fibroids. And if you don't change your lifestyle and change your diet, in 3 years, 4 years, they come back. They come back. So what's the point in having the surgery, removing the fibroids, for them to come right back? And remember how I was telling you guys that your disease is actually the best thing to happen to you? It happened to me. I removed 12 fibroids. 4 years later, I went back and had the same surgery to remove 26 fibroids. Why? Because I didn't make any changes in my life. I didn't make any lifestyle changes. I was still eating the same foods. I was still doing what I was doing to get the fibroids, and they came back. They came back. And so that is why I tell my clients, when I have these calls and when I do have coaching sessions, you got to be willing to put in the work. You got to put in the work to change your life. You've been doing years of the same things, years of abusing your body. Now it's time to look into yourself and have the discipline enough to put in the work. And some people say, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to die anyway. I'm going to die anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't care about changing my diet. I don't want to change my lifestyle. I like how I'm living. You like how you're living? You like the health issues that you're having? Or is it that you're giving up on yourself and that you lack the discipline? You lack the discipline to make those changes. So you want to take the easy way out and say, I'm going to die anyway. No, that's not the answer. None of us can avoid death. But what we are trying to do is preserve our quality of life. Your quality of life matters. Your health matters. You matter. You deserve this. You deserve to pour into yourself. You deserve to tap into your power. And you deserve to prove to yourself that you have enough discipline to change your life, to change your diet and your lifestyle and reverse your disease. Surgery is not always the answer. Now, I am not saying that if you're having a heart attack or if you're going through if your life is in jeopardy in any way, not to have immediate surgery and save your life. Don't get me wrong. I truly believe in integrating holistic treatment with life-saving measures. However, I am trying to tell you that there are certain things that you can work on. You have the power to make the change. You have the power to help yourself, to rid yourself of these diseases, to shrink your fibroids naturally. You can do it, but you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to do the work and put in the time. And there's no quick fix. Anybody who tells you that there's a quick fix, oh my God, I can shrink your fibroids in 2 weeks, they're lying. The body does not work like that. It takes time. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes commitment. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. It takes discipline. Can you do it? Are you worth it? I believe that you are. I believe that you are, and that's why I'm here today on this live. I believe that you can do it. I believe that your diagnosis was the best thing to ever happen to you. Because it woke you up. You're awake now. You're conscious now. You want to make changes now. And that's why you're here on this live. That's why you found me. There is no coincidence. You didn't find me by accident. You didn't stumble across my page by accident. God led you here. God led you here to find someone real who's been through it, who's lived it, who's done it. And I'm sharing with you my knowledge. God led you here. God brought you here to me. That's why you're on this live today. That's why you're here, because you know you found the real. You found the real one. Let's go through some of these comments and see what you guys are talking about. First of all, I want to say thank you all for being here today and joining. I have developed liver lesions because taking a lot of pain pills, over-the-counter meds for everyday cramps. Yes, sis, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Before I found out that I had stage 4 endometriosis, I literally was just popping pills, ibuprofen 800, Aleve, Motrin, nonstop, because I could not just live my day-to-day life. I remember from the onset of my period growing up, people would tell me, oh my God, Fabiola, you're exaggerating. You're doubled over with pain, cramps, crying, screaming, talking about how much you're in pain. It doesn't hurt that bad. Every woman has their period. Every woman has pain. People would literally make me feel like I was crazy for talking about how much pain I was in during my period. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't function. I couldn't eat. I was in so much excruciating pain. No one believed me. Everyone made me feel like I was crazy. And then when I got older, guess what? I went to the gynecologist. They did a laparoscopy and they found out that I had stage 4 endometriosis. That's the highest level of endometriosis, stage 4 I have. They found out that I had fibroids. They found out that I have adenomyosis. I was never making up my pain. No one knew how to treat me. No one knew how to help me. So the easiest thing for them to do was to tell me that what I was feeling wasn't real. When I know what I was feeling was real. I had to help myself. The first thing I did was change my diet. Your diet is the one thing you have control over, my friends. Change your diet. Reverse your disease. Go to a whole food, plant-based vegan diet. That is truly the key. And I'm not talking about the processed vegan food. Let me make that very clear. I'm not talking about Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, Just Egg. I'm talking about whole food. How do you know if it's a whole food? It has one ingredient. It doesn't come in a box or a bag. It's not pre-made. You have to make it. Guys, we have to get back to making our foods at home so that we can know what the ingredients are. We can know what we are ingesting in our body. I know that you have been seeing my videos and I break down step by step why these processed foods are so harmful. I break down step by step why meat is not your friend if you have reproductive health issues. The meat that we're eating today is not the same meat that our parents ate. It's not the same meat that our ancestors ate. They didn't have genetically modified foods. They didn't have these hormones and pesticides and antibiotics that they're putting in the chicken. People used to say, oh my God, chicken is healthy. Chicken breast is clean. Chicken breast is good. No, it's not. Not if it's not organic. It's not healthy. It's laced with hormones. It's laced with hormones and toxic chemicals that create dis-ease within your body. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but your chicken is not healthy. It's not. If you have to eat meat, eat it organic. Don't eat it every day. You don't have to eat meat every day. Let's change our mindset. Let's change the way we think about food. The majority of your plate should be vegetables with a grain. If you need a starch like a potato or if you need a sweet potato, do that. But meat, cut it. Cut it. You can change and reverse your disease with a whole food, plant-based vegan diet. Not a processed vegan diet. Not a processed vegan diet, a whole food, plant-based vegan diet. I'll be delving more into that in the coming weeks. You'll be seeing me juicing. You'll be seeing me cooking. And so these will give you some ideas to let you know that it's not as hard as you think. It's just a mindset shift. We, unfortunately, are living in the American standard diet. The standard American diet, which the acronym is called SAD. Standard American Diet. The acronym is SAD because the food that we eat is very sad. The majority of our food is processed. It's food that we just throw in the microwave that's already pre-made and that we just eat it and go. We've lost the beauty. We've lost the art of cooking. We got to get back to cooking in our kitchen. We got to get back to cooking whole foods. And yes, I would recommend a detox, Momo's Bibs. I would recommend a detox and I can help you with that. I can help you to detox your liver. I can help you to prepare your body for conception if that's what your goal is, to remove your fibroids. Please book a one-on-one call with me if you want to start with a discovery call. It's free. It's for 15 minutes and we can talk about your conditions and I can tell you how I can assist you. But there is a way to reverse your disease. There is a way to heal yourself. And the first line of defense is what you eat. It's what you eat. It's what you put in your mouth. It's what you eat every day. It's what you feed your family. You're passing down to your children. It's what you eat. It has a very, very, very big part in your day-to-day life and what's going on inside of your body. So I want to encourage you guys to really embrace your diagnosis. Embrace it, because it woke you up, and now you want to make the changes that you need to make to heal yourself. And it's a healing journey. It's not a quick fix. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in 2 weeks. And anyone who tells you that it can happen in 2 weeks is lying. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to happen in 2 weeks. I'm going to tell you that it's going to take work and dedication and discipline. And you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to want it. You're worth it. You can do it. I'm here for you. You're not alone. So guys, I really enjoyed this live. I really enjoyed speaking with you today. I will take just a couple of questions before I end the live. Oh, girl, the fragrance creator, do not eat meat. Do not eat chicken if it doesn't have a bone. Make sure that chicken has a bone, guys. Bill Gates just got his fake lab meat FDA approved. Make sure your chicken has a bone, okay? Nenny, yes, please book a call with me. You can go on my website, fertilityhealthcoachfabiola.com. fertilityhealthcoachfabiola.com. Please, someone pin that into the comments. fertilityhealthcoachfabiola.com. That is my website, and you can book a call with me, and we can go from there. Halal chicken, I think that they do it, they slaughter the meat there, and then you're able to know who the farmer is. You're able to ask questions. As long as the chicken doesn't have the hormones that they normally put inside of the supermarket chicken, we can talk about the halal meat. Yes, thank you, the fragrance creator, for putting fertilityhealthcoachfabiola.com. My website is in the comments, so please book a call with me. I'll be more than happy to customize a treatment plan for you in your individual case. We can talk about what you're going through, and I can offer you solutions to help ease your symptoms, and we can get down to the root cause of the issues. I'm all about getting to the root cause. I don't treat symptoms. I treat the whole body. I treat the root cause. And that's another thing. When you go to the doctor, they're treating your symptoms. They're not treating the root cause. They're not finding out what is causing you to have this problem. So we're getting down to the root cause. We're going down to the nitty gritty, and we're nipping it in the bud so the whole body can be healed. That's what we're doing over here. We're healing the whole body. We're not just treating symptoms. Naturally cries Marie. You said tomorrow I have a pelvic ultrasound. I'm kind of nervous. I understand how you feel. Yeah, just say a prayer and be prepared for the information that you're going to get. But just know that you being on this live, you are already in the healing process, because you're hearing someone that's going to tell you how to heal. You are hearing from someone that's going to tell you how to change your life, and your first line of defense is your diet. So I know that you are nervous, and I know that you are having anxiety about going to get an ultrasound, but you can do this. You need to know what's going on inside of your body so that you can heal. It's very important. I don't know what symptoms you're experiencing, what your quality of life is like, but you need to know what's going on in your body. I'm a very big advocate for going to the gynecologist and getting your yearly pap smear, of going to your primary care doctor, finding out your vitamin D levels, knowing what your thyroid levels are, knowing what's going on in your body. It's very, very important. You need to know what's going on in your body. So please don't miss that appointment tomorrow. Don't miss that pelvic ultrasound, and find out what's happening in your body. And you are not alone, sis. You're not alone. You can reach out to me on my website. I can assist you in whatever it is that you're going through. You're not alone. You don't have to face this by yourself. I've been through it. And I'm here to help you. fertilityhealthcoachfabiola.com. Spoil me. Hey, I love that. Spoil me. 80 just joined. Blue just joined. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you being here on this live. I hope that this live made an impact and it really reached you. I will be saving this live as well, so you can also see the full live on my YouTube channel, which is Fertility Health Coach Fabiola. I will be posting it on my YouTube channel tonight. Are you saving this live? Yes, SJ Davis, I am saving this live, so you will have it to go back and refer to. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel where I will be saving it there. Okay, it was amazing talking with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will be doing more lives weekly, and we will be getting to chat, and I love to get to know all of you guys. Again, my website is in the comments, so please book a one-on-one call with me and we can discuss and customize a treatment plan specifically to your needs, whatever they are. It's really great talking with you guys, and I'm really happy to be here and servicing you and healing you. And I ask God that He continue to allow me to do this work so that I can have an impact and reach all of you who are out there suffering. You are not alone. I have been there, and I have found my healing, and I want you to find your healing too. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.